Hey guys, happy Sunday. If this video found you, it is for you. Right away, I'm picking up on someone who had experiences emotions in a very analytical way, and I feel like this is because of past situations that you've been in. And I was picking up on like really big families, like maybe you had a lot of siblings, and there just wasn't time enough for you, or whenever you would experience your emotions, it was not received very well, so you learned to kind of bottle them up or express them in private. I was picking up on someone who is very expressive, like in their art. Maybe as a child you weren't allowed to express how you felt, so, or even like in relationships, so you've learned how to express them in other ways, like through music, through excuse me, through like painting. But yeah, and now I feel like you are kind of coming out of that. I wrote some stuff down because I was getting this earlier. Yeah, okay, so someone who never felt like they had a home, right? That they were never safe to truly express themselves. Like, there wasn't enough, like, I feel like there wasn't enough time for you. Like, maybe you were the oldest child, and so you had to be like a third parent or a second parent to your siblings. I was getting Cry for Me by Twice, and so I feel like there's kind of twofold. Like, maybe you have a difficult time expressing your emotions, like through crying, so you like you don't cry very much. Or I was also getting like, maybe you want someone to actually like care about your emotions, to actually empathize with you and like listen to you and listen to your emotions. And I think that you are very hyper independent. You've learned to like take care of yourself, to compartmentalize. So you have a lot of earth sign energy. So you could have a lot of earth in your chart, like Taurus. I was just getting like Capricorn. You could also have like a lot of water in your chart. You could be a water sign, but not necessarily identify with that. Yeah, the Star. So Spirit is saying like, this is you, right? Maybe even if you had problems, growing up or in past relationships where you didn't feel safe to express your emotions and to express like yourself and how you feel about things. I'm also getting like, when you weren't allowed to be excited about things, you weren't allowed to be passionate because, I don't know, like the people thought that it was inappropriate. Maybe you have very intense emotions, and sometimes that can scare people, right? Just expressing them, it can make people uncomfortable. And I feel like because of that, you were forced into this box where you suppressed your passion and your true feelings about things. And Spirit is saying like, this is coming to an end, right? You are the star. You're coming back into your star energy. The reason that you were always the odd one out, and that you felt like you had so much drive, and like, I'm getting like a dragon in your chest. So you can also have some fire. You could be a fire sign. But you never felt like you could express it. You always felt different. And it's because you are a star. And Spirit is saying like, don't be afraid to pour those emotions out. Like, pour them into your art, pour them into the things that you do, but also like, don't be afraid to express them. We've got the Two of Swords in reverse. You're moving past difficulties, indecision, people trying to blindfold you, trying to block you. I feel like, especially with this channel of not being emotional, I really feel like you've suppressed your emotions. You've learned to compartmentalize them. Definitely look at your moon sign and read into how that affects you and how you process your feelings. But you're moving past like this guarded stance, and it's because you're entering this new stage of life where you have done so much inner work that you feel safe in your body, safe in your soul, and you've made a home for yourself. And because of that, like, these emotions are going to start pouring out. You're going to start experiencing like new things. new feelings. And you're going to find people who will receive those feelings, right? Receive your art, receive even just like your passion about things. We have the Ace of Pentacles upright. Yeah, you know, because you are embracing this star quality and like just being genuinely yourself. Because I also feel like a part of this was that you weren't allowed to be your true self. Like maybe you were really into like you're like kind of like a theater kid or you're an artist, but that was always suppressed. And maybe, yeah, okay, so we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you've been having money issues. Like maybe you've always been struggling with money, especially because I was getting like kind of family trauma in the beginning. Maybe your parents or your family was always having to be focused on money, like struggling with making ends meet. And that is why there wasn't space for you to be happy and to express yourself. And I know I resonate with that. Like my parents were always incredibly stressed about money and focused, like they worked, you know, full-time jobs. And so I made myself small. I processed all my emotions independently because I didn't want to be a burden. And I feel like that was you. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles, and so because of that, because you've been disconnected from yourself, maybe you've continued that cycle of scarcity. But, you know, Spirit is saying that you have money coming in, and it's because you are a star. You're embracing your power. And it's like this crazy thing that once you start actually living authentically, a whole bunch of blessings come in and like things start aligning. And before you were the Page of Pentacles in reverse, like you didn't think that, I feel like you just weren't like, you weren't holding on to money. You like all the money was going to making ends meet. And you know, Spirit saying, first of all, like be appreciative of how far you've come, that you are you know, financially supporting yourself in however way you are. But also like look back at what you fostered in your life. And like I just feel this is true. It's like look back at your family tree and like maybe you're operating out of this scarcity mindset that you learned from your parents, that is like generational, or from your grandparents, your caretakers, whoever this is. And look back at it, and maybe it has given you money, but I feel like even if you are like well off, maybe you've sacrificed your emotional well-being, like your peace. And Spirit is encouraging you to, you know, see what is working for you and appreciate all the work you've going in, but also remember that, or figure out things that aren't working for you anymore. Yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. This is all about the end of suffering, the end of scarcity, the end of, you know, struggle. And I really feel like this is like family trauma. Like you are healing your family bloodline. And maybe to cope with growing up poor, not having a lot of money, that, you know, we need money to survive in, you know, in capitalism and whatever. And so it makes sense that sometimes like people tend to prioritize making a living over their emotional well-being. But you're realizing that that's not who you want to be, that that's not healthy, right? Maybe looking back at your family and asking yourself questions like, well, are these people actually happy? You know, I'm reminded of that quote. It's like, don't ask people for advice unless you want their life. All right, so maybe they have a lot of money, but it's like, actually look at their life. Are they happy? Are they fulfilled? Do they have a happy family life? Like, do they have good energy? Do you like being around them? Do you like being around their energy? Are they involved with their community? Are they happy? Maybe they have a lot of anger outbursts, so they get really upset sometimes, or they, you know, drink a lot. They're a bit of an alcoholic or using other substances or something. And so I think you are realizing you've been operating in this mode of really focusing on oh my gosh, excuse me. My throat is like very like congested, and that's crazy because I haven't had congestion like all day. This is only when I sat down to do this, because I don't think this is something about your throat chakra. Yeah, your Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so I'm getting like two different energies here. Either you are well off because you have sacrificed maybe your own happiness in some ways. It doesn't mean like in every way, but in some ways, so that you can gain financial security. And you're kind of revisiting that now that you are secure and you feel well off and you feel safe enough. These emotions are coming up, and it's like that's how the body works. Like if we're in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, we're in survival mode and maybe we're not accessing our emotions. But then when we get into a safe space where we feel peace, then these emotions feel safe enough to come up, and this like trauma or past experiences that you haven't really healed from or ever thought about feel safe enough to come up. So there's either that, or you have been struggling with money and feeling like trapped, and like maybe you're trapped in a dead-end job, or like there's all these obstacles coming your way, especially with the Two of Swords. Maybe you've experienced a lot of roadblocks, and Spirit is saying, don't worry, trust, follow your own light, and know that Spirit is taking care of you. We've got the end of all of your suffering is here. It's waiting for you. You just have to figure it out. Like you just have to figure out, I've got the Seven of Pentacles, right? The Five of Pentacles right under it. So you're like figuring out where you still have like a lack mindset. This is a good time to like reevaluate what you're saying to yourself. Maybe write down affirmations. Affirmations work really, really well for me. Just writing them out like every day in my journal. I am abundant. I deserve wealth. Money is coming my way in billions. I am successful. And, it's all about mindset. It's not ever about the physical world. Like we have so much abundance in this world, like because of technology increase, industry, like we have enough food, we have enough resources to clothe the population, to feed the population like 10 times over. And so all scarcity is just man-made. And so the minute you change your mindset, all of that money is going to come rushing in. And it may take some time. I know that's happens for me, is that there's like a waiting period while it like gets downloaded and it goes through all of like the realities and the dimensions. But you are being taken care of, so don't worry. And I do feel like the scarcity isn't even yours. It's like a generational thing, or maybe people around you, because the Nine of Pentacles is also an individual. It's like the card of a single person. So maybe, I think you're also being told all of the figures except for the Five of Pentacles, in reverse, have been individual. So I really feel like you're asked to take some time to yourself. Take some time to yourself, connect with the earth, and really evaluate, what are you putting effort into lately? Once you got the Page of Wands upright, and with the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, oh shit, I just realized that. Yeah, so you're embarking in a whole other like a new phase of your life. And I was also getting this channel earlier of like 2026 is going to be huge for you. It's going to be a big year of like change, and it's the year of the 1 or 10, and it's going to be a new start for you. And you don't have to worry, maybe you are choosing to move into like a new career or something, but don't worry about it. Yeah, Seven of Wands, you're moving past, like, you're already past it. Yeah, you're already past these things that were holding you back. And I feel like this has been coming up with the Seven of Wands a lot, and how I feel like, there's no people. Again, it's just a single solitary person up there. And so I feel like you've been struggling against these negative beliefs that it's not even yours, like they're society's, right? And Spirit is saying, let go of them. Trust in your star power. And then I pulled the Hierophant upright. Your spirit guides are here for you. You're very spiritually connected. I feel like right now you're very connected. It came out under the star. Maybe you've been having like, you've reconnected to your spirituality in some way. Like you're, getting back into tarot, or you're getting back into meditation or prayer. But, God is saying that always like trust in spirit. Yeah, 7 of Cups. These things that were happening weren't yours. It was like energy, family line energy. Someone was trying to convince you that like the things that you want aren't actually good for you. That filling your cup isn't good for you. Like choosing, that you should choose the practical way over the way that feels good every time. And that's not true. That's actually completely flipped. You should choose what feels good every time. And I'm being called to say, like, you have all the connections that you need inside. Like, the biggest misconception in a lot of spirituality, or not spirituality, but like in major religions, and the reason why organized religion often persists is because it puts the power away from the individual into an outside source, right? God, or the like hierarchy of the church. And the reason is historically it was because, churches were the focus of power. So, people wanted to stay in power. They wanted to keep the power dynamics. And so I think you're learning that the power isn't in anybody else. It's always inside you. And that's kind of that's like the lesson of the Hierophant, is that you are the Hierophant. Like you have like a direct connection to source. I also pulled the Queen of Swords. So your intuition is spot on. A Queen of Swords is also for Athena. So I think Athena is reaching out to you to work with her, because she's all about like cutting through the bullshit, new ideas coming through, and still maintaining the logical. Like I feel like maybe you have some fear about like not being logical, like choosing to lead with your heart, and being afraid that means that you can't make money, or that money won't come with you, that like not being practical means that, like, I'm also getting like a flood of frugal energy. Like you're afraid to spend money on things that you enjoy, that you like. Yeah, I feel like okay, yes, I'm just getting the 7 of Cups. It came up in reverse. I feel like you have things that you like you have hobbies or something, but you want to buy things for them, but you always refuse because you're afraid of scarcity. You're like, well, what if I lose my job? What if I have a medical emergency? And God is saying like, no, you are the star. Money is used to be spent. Like the true definition of abundance is like having money to use when you need it. And God is saying that you will always have the money you need. I pulled the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords both together. So this is definitely some kind of couple that's coming in. I feel like, let's see, what's this card? This could be a divine counterpart. They both came out right next to each other. So this could be a divine counterpart that you're going to meet that maybe is going to help you with this new thought pattern. It could be romantic. It could also just be a partnership. There's a lot of like pentacles in the read today. So I feel like they're going to help you in some way. I'm getting like, when you decide to make this shift, to leave that scarcity mindset, someone will come in, a fellow king or queen of swords who is also in that mindset of abundance, of wealth, and they're going to come in and help you release all of these ideas that like you have to be always on the offensive, and that in this society, like someone has to lose for you to win, or you have to lose for someone else to win, or opposite way. And you also have the Nine of Cups though. So I feel like this is a person. I feel like on this journey, sorry, this hair is like bothering the crap out of me. On this journey that you're going on, it's going to cause you to take action in some area of your life, your financial, your work, something. And this divine couple is coming to help you. I also feel called to say that connect with Athena and Odin, because Odin is, to me, is like the counterpart of Athena in a lot of ways. He's coming out with the King of Swords. I consider them like the Star Maker team. They're at least the Star Maker team in my journey. They're here to help you like through this transition. Yeah, retrieval. They're here to retrieve like your abundance. Your abundance, you have not been living in an abundant mindset. I really feel like you've been scared of, like, the economy sucks, like it does, and you've been really nervous. You've been scared. It's been getting to you. And Spirit is saying, like, don't be afraid. Work on that mindset. You are on an adventure, right? Life is an adventure, and any obstacle that comes up, treat it like a fun adventure or like a problem to solve, because you have like a really big spirit team around you that will help you. Yeah, I feel like on one hand, it's like, don't be afraid of hard work. If you're starting a new business, like I was getting this channel of art. So I think maybe that you are like an artist, or you want to go into like working for yourself or your own business, but you're afraid that it's not going to work out. And Spirit is saying, like, no, you're going to have the materials that you need. You're going to have the money you need, the seed money. Investors will be coming in to make you offers. And through this, you're going to come back to yourself. And your inner child will be happy. And work is supposed to be fun. Work is supposed to be an adventure. Also feel like maybe you're having just a tough time at work. Maybe you actually really enjoy your job, but you're going through a bit of a rough patch right now. Maybe a project is really draining you, or you're having a lot of like personnel turnover. But, you know, Spirit is saying persevere. You have all the strength you need inside, and your spirit guides are here to help you. And like, also, if you don't believe in like spirit guides, memory, if not spirit guides, then like think about, you know, the people that you admire. Like if you have like celebrities that you admire, who are really strong, or like book characters or movie characters or video games, people from video games, like use them as your role models, like channel their personality, have some fun with it. We've got memory coming up. I was getting at the beginning, like with the family, and this is all tied to like your upbringing and to your family trauma. And I read the scales at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you are going through something that has to do with your money, and it's bringing up memories of your childhood, of your family. And Spirit is saying, don't be afraid of it, right? You are protected. You are safe to, you know, entertain those memories when they come up, and let your emotions express themselves, right? Feel them, feel the memories, and you'll learn lessons through them that will help you through this. And I feel like whatever you're going through, like it is based in your generational trauma. If you're like, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep going through the same thing over and over? Or like, why can't I overcome this problem? And it's because of these memories you have that you have ingrained themselves in your body through trauma, through neurons, right? And Spirit is saying, like, this is your opportunity to work through that, to work through this scarcity, to work through this suppression of what you really want from life, out of this fear that is run through your generational line. And, you know, you healing this will also heal your entire family. And, like, your ancestors will come in to help you. You could be getting dreams. Like, pay attention to your dreams. Write them down. Pay attention to, like, things you see out and about that remind you, like, smells that remind you of growing up. And it can be, you know, painful at times, but just let it flow, because it will help you in the end. And people will be coming in to help you. Like, And I really feel like the minute that you start processing this, like Spirit is going to give you financial or material gifts in some way. It could be something specific you've been wanting that you see in a thrift store, or like you see it in the store for like 80% off or something. You're like, that's crazy. Like, so notice the synchronicities, because you are very connected. You're very, very connected. You're spiritual royalty. Yeah, but again, like there's a lot of minor arcana. So, and the major arcana is very positive, the Star and the Hierophant. So, don't worry. Like, this is all small stuff that you're going through. Like, once you write the spiritual, the financial, material world writes itself. So don't worry. This is a small problem and you will get through it really quickly. Because I was looking at that channel from the beginning of 2026. You will overcome this challenge, whatever it is, by 2026. Like, you will be in a whole new mindset by then. Yeah, you will be fulfilled. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I've got all of this that I did behind me. Look at that. I put all that shit behind me and it's all lined up, and look, I'm just sitting on my throne. I can't wait to see what happens next. Yeah, and you have a lot coming in because you've been denied it in the past, the scales. It's being righted. Your inheritance from the universe, from the world, it's coming to you. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, watch my video. I hope it resonated. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. I post daily. And yeah, so thank you so much. Sending you so much love, so much light. You are so strong. And I want to say, like, a lot of people don't ever actually go through processing their trauma, right? They don't actually go back and go through their thought patterns and be like, well, how do I heal from this? How do I move forward in my life? And you are doing that. And that makes you a star. That makes you special. And it takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage, and you have it. So don't worry. And the universe is protecting you. And I'm rooting you on. And there's a whole collective of people on the entire earth that are on this journey with you. And you're not alone. So don't ever think you're alone. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Bye.